This right here is something that it should be worrisome because this goes hand in hand, or rather, it's walking in the same direction, the same line that we saw with the breakthrough cases, which you can look at our previous videos there, and the CDC not really keeping tabs on that, certainly like in comparison to other countries. So what we do is we have a lot of faulty data regarding breakthrough cases because in a lot of cases, they were being kept at sometimes at the state and local level at best, but the CDC didn't have really a true database of that because they weren't requiring people to kind of keep up with that with that data either way it went. So yeah, a lot of folks are flying in blind. We talked about some of those public health guys that were like, we don't know what to do. But this is one terms of what I'm going to show you is exactly that. Another example of government agencies simply and oddly not keeping up with data that just happens to seem to be a little inconvenient. Right here. I'm at OSHA's website. It's OSHA.gov/coronavirus/facts. So frequently asked questions. So FAQS. You can go there. There's a segment that says vac, and I'm on it myself. This isn't a screenshot. I am on the OSHA.gov website. And they have some sort of frequently asked questions regarding OSHA. And here's one of the subjects, or rather one of the deals right here. Questions that they're trying to answer. Are adverse reactions to the COVID-19 vaccine recordable on the OSHA record-keeping log? The DOL, and this is what they say, DOL and OSHA, as well as other federal agencies, are working diligently to encourage COVID-19 vaccinations. OSHA does not wish to have any appearance of discouraging workers from receiving the COVID-19 vaccination, and also does not wish to disincentivize employers' vaccination efforts. That, I don't think y'all understand how fucking weird of a preface that is. They're prefacing the question that they're answering directly by saying basically, yeah, we got to watch what it is that we do because we don't want to discourage people to get the vaccine. That is such a bizarre thing in the first place, because that wasn't what the question is. You're just setting it up, telling me that you're doing it, or what you're about to rather say is because of maybe inconvenient truths that may have folks shying away from either vaccination requirements or going to get it themselves. That is a bizarre, a very, very weird statement. But continuing on. As a result, okay, so never mind. What they're literally saying, it's not even, we don't have to do this whole they're alluding to. No, they're actually saying it, right? So they're saying, yeah, this is our motive here. So as a result of not wanting people not to discourage workers from receiving COVID vaccinations or decentralizing employers, OSHA will not enforce 29 CFR 1904's recording requirements to require any employers to record worker side effects from the COVID-19 vaccination at least through May of 2022. The fuck? We will reevaluate the agency's position at that time to determine the best course of action. Do y'all not understand how bizarre that is, what it is that they just said? I'm going to try to break it down just a little more slowly. So the DOL and OSHA does not want to have, or rather discourage, workers from getting the vaccine, the COVID vaccination. They don't want to disincentivize employers from requiring them to do that. So as a result, they're not going to require them through their own to 29 CFR 1904 to record the worker side effects from COVID-19 vaccinations. So if there are worker side effects, and they know it's documented, it happens at, wherever they are, their place of employment, they are not going to keep tabs on that. Now, not only is that bizarre because, well, of the implications itself, I guess, it's weird because they are setting it up to say this is a inconvenient thing to have documented. And if people look at that data, it's like with the mask thing. You remember Fauci was saying that he didn't want to send the wrong message, right? Despite him being vaccinated, and he was still going around wearing a mask. So it was about theater. It was more about what he didn't want to lead you guys to maybe do something to the opposite of that. Because, again, that would be more so an inconvenience in terms of what they had put forth regarding the mask thing. None of this makes sense, okay? This isn't about science or anything. The beloved health experts or these agencies, government agencies that are supposedly having your best interest in mind and having your best health in mind, and they just care so much about the people, they are explicitly stating that they aren't recording. There's not going to be any recording requirements in regards to the vaccine that the employer might be pushing. But they want to encourage them to do that. They want to encourage them to do that simply, to, again, push that on you. They don't want to disincentivize them to do that. And they certainly don't want you to be discouraged, because could you imagine, in the event they did keep tabs on this, in the event that they did have the data available readily for someone to access, and they saw that maybe there were some reactions. I'm not even saying that they are. I'm just saying if they saw that they were there, people that had not got it would be more likely to say, no, I'm good on that. And employers would say, oh, well, wait a minute, we're pushing something on our workers that may be getting them sick. They're having to sit out. They're not being able to work. Maybe we don't require them. So it's an inconvenient potential outcome. And because of that, they are explicitly stating right here on OSHA.gov's website that they will not be enforcing these recording requirements. So they're not going to even have data. They're not even going to have the data available to them. And you think, oh, they had all these numbers. They stack them up when they can certainly point to, oh, dead people and all of that. But it seems to be when it comes to what they prescribed as the solution to try to mitigate all of this. Well, wait a minute. If we have some instances, be it breakthrough cases with CDC, or in this case, adverse reactions when it comes to OSHA, they don't want to document those like they're doing the other numbers. These fools can tell you to a T, well, the unvaccinated, it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated, right? X amount of the hospitals are representing in terms of the percentage, it's a high percentage of the unvaccinated. Okay, you got all of those numbers down to the fucking hospital, but you don't want to keep up with the adverse reactions of the vaccinations? That's beyond, we're not dealing with conspiracy. We're dealing with like malpractice. We're dealing with dishonesty. Sheer fucking dishonesty is what we're dealing with right now. We're well beyond all the conspiracy theories that you thought we were saying that ended up becoming true. Government agencies that are responsible for having this data readily available are explicitly stating that they're not going to obtain or attempt to obtain and keep tabs on inconvenient truths regarding people that got jabbed. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. I know there's folks that have been, maybe they got coerced into doing it. Maybe they're just those guys that just have kind of religious clings to the government agencies, and they think they would never do them any sort of wrong. Don't tell me that this is about science, and don't tell me this is about health if we know for a fact that the government agencies are not keeping tabs, not as rigorous, not even nearly as rigorous and aggressive in keeping tabs on adverse reactions from the vaccinations, whether it be through the data that highlights people that have positive, testing positive despite getting it, or whether it be with this case, people that are having adverse reactions or effects, side effects from the COVID vaccinations. Don't tell me it's about any of that. Just concede that this is more of you having a religious cling to a truth that you want it to be. But it ain't got nothing to do with science, because if it was about science, just as they kept tabs on the deaths and all this stuff about the pandemic of the unvaccinated, they begin keeping tabs on the vaccinations and the stuff that people were, the effects that they were having. And then, as we should be as free individuals, you'd see people making decisions as such. But it seems almost like you don't want them to make a decision for themselves, so you're hiding, or rather not keep. It's more lying by way of omission. You don't even want to keep tabs on this. We're beyond conspiracies here, man. I just gave you the receipts. It's right there again. If you want to go, OSHA.gov/coronavirus/FAQS. Check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for shit. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.